Hello everyone, it's Mr. G with the next section of the tutorial. So to start with, you're in your part mode here. I've selected 3D model and then I'm going to go up here and click the home button, and then I'm now going to move over to my browser, and this is all just in preparation, and I'm going to select the XY plane and the Z axes. To do that, I select the XY plane, hold the control, which is on the bottom left of your keyboard down, and click the Z. Then we can also select the center point and right click and hold. You have to hold control down to do that, and then click visibility. That will then enable those to be visible. Now it looks a bit odd, kind of like a weird little spinning top. You should realize that this is a plane, as it's labeled XY plane, and this is an axis, right? You've got one dimension to create an axis, and you need 2 dimensions to create a plane. And what we're trying to do is create a 3D object, so we're going to utilize our plane to create a 2D drawing. Think of it like a drawing on a piece of paper. Once you've got that on your flat piece of paper here, you're then going to draw or pull it up a certain distance on this third axis, and that will then create your 3D object, because you've got your 2D shape applied with a third dimension, and that's what 3D stands for, 3-dimensional. Alright, so let's get started. Now, already you should have already kind of had a look at some existing designs and images of snowflakes. I'm going to quickly bring up some of the images that I've looked at before. For example, these are some snowflake ideas I've got here. You'll notice that they all have 6 spurs, okay, and that's quite critical. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Now these also don't have a little hole for the rope to be put onto, so that would be the next thing you also need to make sure you put onto your snowflake design. It has a little hole on the top. So we're going to go back to Inventor, there we go, and I'm going to select up here the sketch option, and if you hover over any of these buttons, they nearly always give you a long-winded or longer bit of information. This one says creates a 2D sketch on a planar surface or a plane. So we're going to select that, and then we're going to select the XY plane, and then just to make sure everything lines up, I'm going to click the front button here just once, and now everything's nice and square. Okay, so this is all in preparation for you to create your snowflake. And the next step that we need to do is create some guides. Okay, there's a bit of a technique to creating your snowflake. The first step is to go up to this rectangle option, which is under the Create panel, as you can see. Select the drop-down option, because normally they'll all start on 2-point, and select 2-point center. We're going to first select the inside section here, waiting until the center of our cursor goes green with a green dot. And then as we're hovering out in this kind of direction, I'm going to use my keyboard to type in 100, hit the tab button, that's on the left hand side, type in 100 again. You'll notice now that I've got these 2 little white boxes that follow my mouse with a lock-in. If I zoom out with the scroll wheel on my mouse, you'll notice that that is actually the size of my square. It's now 100 by 100. Clicking enter then locks that in place. And I'm just going to click the front view here, or you can click home twice, and it will zoom in so that you can see everything on your screen in one go. The next step is we're going to put in our first arc. Okay, so for us to divide our shape, which is 360 degrees, into 6 segments, we're going to need to divide it by 60. And so I'm going to draw in a couple of 60 segments. So I'm going to do a first line here, and then I'm going to do a second line that just hits somewhere along here, making sure that when I clicked, you'll notice it went yellow and kind of snapped to the edge. Okay. Having done that, okay, you don't need to do the third, that was just a demonstration. You select the dimension tool, and this is a type of constraining. It's so you can define how big your sizes are. And select the 2 lines, one after the other, and you'll then get this edit dimension. If you do this right, it'll be close to 60. Type in 60 exactly, click enter. Now, click escape so dimension is no longer selected. Select the first line you created, the second line you created. Go up to format, go to the second drop down and select red. This just enables you to more easily draw. After you've done that, left click on the blue ether, I call it, and then go back to format and select default again. And you'll notice you now have these 2 red angles at 60 degrees, and we need to create our design within that for our snowflake. And this is the setting up video. Well done, thanks for getting this far.